waiting to get a lawyer just, it just allows your evidence to kind of spread out and wash away like water. It's not a good idea.
So do you know what to do if you're injured in a collision by a drunk driver? Well, that's what we're going to find out, because that's what we're going to ask the lawyer on this episode. Hi again, everybody. I'm Rob Rosenthal with AskTheLawyers.com, and my guest is Mississippi attorney Merrida Coxwell. Remember, if you want to be able to ask questions about your specific situation, be sure to go to AskTheLawyers.com. Click on the button at the top of the screen that says Ask a Lawyer and ask away right there. Merrida, it's always good to see you. Thank you for making some time to help us again.
You're welcome, Rob. It's good to talk to you again.
So let's just start at the beginning. Someone is hit by a drunk driver. There's injuries. What's your suggestion? What should they do?
Well, it's not going to be a lot different from any other accident. Number one, you take care of your health. That's always the most important thing. Obviously, get a copy of the police report. And if you have injuries of any type, many times you don't know that they're serious right away, it's best to contact a lawyer, because there are some complications in DUI cases. And sometimes there is, as bad as it is that it happened, there can be some advantages of that bad situation. So take care of your health, cooperate with the police officer, and contact a lawyer, hopefully Coxwell Associates.
It seems like some people probably think, Merrida, well, there's going to be a prosecuting attorney, a district attorney, somebody like that that's going to handle the case against a drunk driver, so I don't need a civil attorney. Explain what's going on there.
The prosecuting attorney is not going to be concerned with your civil action. He is solely going to be prosecuting that person, the alleged drunk driver, for either driving under the influence of alcohol, driving under the influence of illegal drugs, or any other substance that might have affected their ability to drive. That is all that he's going to be concerned with. Now, if you have injuries arising from that, the prosecutor might require restitution, but that restitution generally is going to be limited to the amount of your, what we lawyers call your special, your medical bills, your pain and suffering, loss of enjoyment of life, and those other kind of damages that are so valuable to a living person, basically just all the joy in life. Those are not going to be taken care of by the prosecutor. He's generally going to prosecute the crime.
Does the outcome of that civil case, whether the person is ultimately found guilty of drunk driving or whatever, does that have any bearing on my civil case and whether I could recover damages?
No, not really. A good example of that, if you all remember the O.J. Simpson case, where he was found not guilty in the criminal case, but the family sued him and got a very large civil judgment. The burden of proof in a criminal case is beyond a reasonable doubt. And in a civil case, it's preponderance of the evidence. You could also have a DUI that might get dismissed on a constitutional basis. For example, lack of probable cause. The police pulled someone over with only a suspicion and no probable cause, and that DUI might get thrown out. But it wouldn't stop the individual who was harmed or injured from suing that individual. So a not guilty verdict is not going to affect the civil case.
What if someone is thinking, well, I'll wait till the end of the civil case and then I'll contact somebody like yourself, Merrida, to help me with end of the criminal case, and then I'll contact somebody like yourself to help me with the civil case. Is that a smart thing to do?
No, it isn't. Evidence disappears. Evidence on the roadside disappears. Law enforcement memories, even though they put a lot in their offense reports, there are things you may want in your civil case that if you talk to the officer earlier enough, he may recall. He may recall how you were suffering and how you were injured inside the car, how he helped you get out, how you expressed your problems at those times. So when you have a civil case, once you engage a lawyer, there may be some waiting for you to reach what we call in the legal medical field maximum medical improvement. But waiting to get a lawyer it just allows your evidence to kind of spread out and wash away like water. It's not a good idea.
What if something in the police report from the criminal case maybe it's inaccurate, or maybe it doesn't help my case? Is that necessarily going to be used as evidence in my civil case?
Well, it depends on how it's phrased. Now you're getting into very complex, fact-specific questions on whether that report is admissible, whether that report contains any hearsay. I mean, in the accident report, the new accident reports here in Mississippi are extremely thorough, but they leave little room for officers to put, factual details. I mean, they're listed in a report, but in a lot of the old reports, the officers would sort of write chronologies, sentences down in the reports. I don't see that anymore. So getting to an officer, getting the accident report, especially in a DUI, and getting to an officer right away, or any witnesses, the biggest problem at Coxwell Associates that we find is we don't get involved until months and months, maybe even a year later, and we can't find any witnesses other than the officer. And other witnesses are extremely valuable in these types of cases.
Lots of great information, as always, Merrida. Thank you very much for taking some time answering our questions today.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
That's going to do it for this episode of Ask the Lawyer. My guest has been Mississippi attorney Merrida Coxwell. Remember, if you want to ask questions about your specific situation, you can always go to AskTheLawyers.com, click on the button at the top of the screen that says Ask a Lawyer, and you can do it right there. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Rob Rosenthal with Ask the Lawyers.